Edgy content is a topic that's been discussed for years now. It's divided the internet into two groups, one who sees it as okay, and another that doesn't. For all the grandmas out there, edgy jokes are jokes that are on the edge of being deemed as okay. At one point, it was pretty normal in media to be edgy and stuff, but over the years, it's kind of changed. Edgy content has just been pushed out, and more wholesome, acceptable jokes have become the norm. So then, what's the issue with edgy jokes? I personally like edgy jokes. In the right environment, I think edgy jokes are completely okay. But the main issue with edgy jokes is that a lot of the people that like edgy jokes usually go for the shock value rather than actually being clever with their jokes, which is why a lot of people don't like it. The whole point of an edgy joke is to be very close to the boundary but still not cross it. Once you kind of cross it, it kind of just becomes not a joke. For example, saying the N-word just to say the N-word is not funny. Okay, well, it kind of is.
Can I have your autograph, Mr. Bubbly?
Get a job, nigger.
But there are definitely some cases where the joke just doesn't land. I'm not trying to tell people what to find funny and not funny, but it does get to a point to where the edgy joke can be questioned on whether it's actually edgy or not. There could definitely be some edgy jokes that people use to be genuinely offensive, and they'll use the joke to hide behind it and say, oh, I'm just kidding, when in fact they actually believe in the joke. There are definitely clever ways to use offensive jokes. Here's a good example.
When I was 16 years old, I tried to kill myself.
Here's a bad example.
I am beautiful.
Whoa, you shouldn't lie in church.
Here's another good example. Here's another bad example. Another issue with edgy jokes is that some of them can get really repetitive. Greatest example for this is 9/11 jokes. 9/11 jokes were funny, and they still can be, but there's only so many ways you can make a clip of a plane crashing into two buildings hilarious. I know it tends to happen since it's pretty much the magnum opus of edgy jokes, but in my opinion, I just find it to be really unfunny at a certain point. Again, you can find something to be funny. I still think it's a fair criticism nonetheless. Another issue is that edgy jokes kind of become people's entire personality, usually teenagers, and then they kind of wonder why they have no friends or relationships or anything like that. Maybe it's not great to go gorilla mode 7 days of the week, buddy. Sorry I find things funny other than a plane crashing into two buildings. I feel when you let it become your entire personality, some, a very small amount, I don't want to say all, but some, slowly start to believe the jokes that they say. But even if that's not the case, edgy jokes is very much a time and place type of thing, and if you're using them at the wrong place at the wrong time, you'll definitely get a lot of side eyes. At the end of the day, edgy jokes are fine, and when done properly, they could be really funny. But just like anything, too much of it probably isn't a good idea, and you'll get sick of it really quickly. And to the people who don't like edgy jokes, they're not snowflakes or soft, they just may not find it funny. Just like you don't find a lot of wholesome humor to be funny. Is it cool when edgy jokes are in a lot of media and stuff? For sure. But people aren't weird because they don't make it their entire personality, or joke about things that can be seen as harmful to others. I find it funny when people call others who like wholesome jokes snowflakes, because it exposes a hypocrisy. You're complaining about somebody complaining about your joke. That doesn't make sense since they can use the same argument on you. Then you'd be seen as the snowflake. It can get to a point to where you could make a slightly edgy joke and it could be taken as extreme or incredibly offensive, and that's not the case at all. There are indeed soft people on the internet. I'm not denying that. There are definitely moments where people who like edgy jokes act the same way as the people they make fun of. The topic of edgy jokes is still being discussed today, and even though both sides have really good points, it all comes down to you and what you find funny. If you like edgy jokes, go ahead. Just understand that there's a time and place for it. If you like wholesome jokes, that's also fine. But understand that there are people who like offensive jokes and they don't actually intend to be racist or transphobic or any other extreme term you want to label them as. They're just simply making a joke. The only thing that isn't a joke is that I did your mom.